training with none other than our Chief Product Officer, Miss Deanna Latson, who is going to be walking through the products with us. And we're going to do it efficiently. We're going to do it quickly. We want to keep this to a time frame to where it can be used as a rep training, a client training, whatever you want it to be. So I am going to scroll through and give a proper introduction. Deanna Latson not only is our Chief Product Officer, she's a co-founder of RX. She has spoken at over 800 major universities. She's internationally known as a public speaker, but she is also one of the world's leading experts on nutrition, on weight loss, on everything that we consume as far as food products. And she's very, it is amazing. She has an expertise of manufacturing and stuff, just junk, that someone like me, I had no idea what I was feeding my family, really. And I thought that I did. So this journey has been a whole lot more for me than just a business. She has helped set my family on a health journey to where now I can say in my 40s I'm healthier than I've ever been in my life, and I thank her every day. She's loads of fun. She pulls no punches. Tonight's training, we're going to be firing some questions that some of you in the field have heard, but I wanted to put her on the screen so that you can see exactly who we're talking about. So Deanna Latson also, she won in 2013 the prestigious International Stevie Award. And for that, I am just so thrilled that she's joining us. So Deanna, are you with us?
I am. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I hear you great. I hear you great. Now, what we're in the process of doing, and there we go. Everybody can see who you are with all of your compadres there, the co-founders. But is there anything that you'd like to say as an intro as we're going to scroll through and we're going to go through the Nutrify products, and we're also going to go through Slenderize, and we're going to do it as fast as we can for you to give us real tidbits that we can utilize and use as we get started on our journey here?
No, I just thanks for your really wonderful introduction. And, you know, the photo that you see of us there, I have to tell you that's my favorite photo because never would I think I was going to be family and business partners and great friends with, you know, these guys. And it's always me. I'm always surrounded by a lot of testosterone, but I got to tell you, these guys are so good at what they do. They always make me look good, and they know how to do business because we can create the best products in the world, but if you don't have everybody else in place who understands operations and international business law and IT and just everything that goes along, you know, you don't have a company. And we have such a remarkable team. I'm so proud, and I love my team so much.
RxPresentation.com. We want to use the tools that you have provided to us, Deanna, to show people how to use. We want to use them as teaching tools as we scroll through. So if that's all right with you, if there's anything you'd like to say about Nutrify as a whole, and we'll just go from there.
Sure. I mean, if I was to say anything about Nutrify as a whole, understand how we make our choices. You know, it costs a lot of money to be sick. People don't understand that. And when folks come up to me and they say things like, well, I just don't know if I want to spend money on nutrition, you know, I really just want to shake them a little and say, do you know how much it costs to be sick? And if I was to run blood work on 1,000 strangers, random people walking around, almost all of them would be deficient in something. And research has shown us that these deficiencies can completely screw up the body and create all types of other immune deficiency issues. And so when we develop our Nutrify line, we look at what are the issues out there. Things like, you know, selenium is not even existent in our soil anymore in the United States, but it's really necessary. You know, and and people are so afraid of the sun these days because of skin cancer. They're vitamin D deficient. And so when we look at what's going on in the health problems in the world, in the United States and everywhere else, well, how can we step in to be first step therapy? How can we provide like an insurance plan, you know, for everybody coming in, and so they can live a long, healthy life? And it all starts with Optimals, and you just brought that up, I see.
All right, let's talk about Optimals, because here's what I get, and I'm just going to tell you. Well, I mean, these are so expensive, and you got to take a couple of each, and why can't I do a one a day? I mean, they have commercials for it on TV.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so we just did. Whitson, did you see the new video that got that's posted on the corporate Facebook page?
Yeah, the one that came out today. It was tweeted out. It's incredible.
Oh, the Optimals, right? And all we did is we picked just 5 ingredients in the Optimals. Well, let me back up. One-a-days. One-a-days are worthless. They're just worthless. There's not enough of anything to bring your blood levels up. So it's a really great marketing scheme, and people feel better doing it psychologically. Okay, great. But if you really want to bring your blood levels up, you're wasting your money. You really want to create a good nutritional balance at a cellular level, you're wasting your money. The reason why we have 2 products taken morning and night is because we know in a matter of 6 months, and we can show that your blood levels are up, that we're giving you the levels of nutrition to keep your cells healthy. And it's all about the cell, because everyone on this call right now has disease cells. If we can keep the cell healthy, we can keep the immune system strong. You're living a great life. And the Optimals are like 7 products in one. I mean, it's a huge, it's a gigantic blend of vitamins and minerals and whole foods and phytonutrients, and it was put together based on science. I mean, you should see how it was formulated. Hundreds and hundreds of pages of science, of actual journal articles on how much levels affect, what kind of levels to get a blood reaction in the body to create a response that we're looking for. They just weren't made on a whim. They were designed to fulfill the deficiencies in your diet. And people think they can get what they need from their food, but they just can't anymore. And if you don't think, just go watch that video on Facebook. And if anybody ever says to you, you can't, you know, you can get what you need from your food, that video will stop them in the tracks.
Okay, I love that. I love everything that you said, and understand I'm the protagonist. I'm the antagonist actually tonight, because that's what this training is for. All right, so Deanna, there are these little capsules, and they're silver. And I mean, do you have anything chewable? Why don't you guys do tablets? Like, I know about
okay,
tablets.
that's a great question. I get that all the time, especially in Asia. All right, tablets. Do you know how great it would be? How happy Riley would be if I said, Riley's our COO, if I said, let's do tablets. He'd be so happy, because tablets are the least expensive way to make a product. Capsules are considered the high end of nutritionals. When you swallow our capsules, and Woodson, you say they're silver, all it is gelatin, water, a mineral called mica. That's it. That's all you get. When you swallow that capsule and it goes into your stomach, in less than 4 minutes, that capsule is dissolved, and that powder is free-flowing to go out and do what it needs to do in the body. So now let's look at a tablet. To make a tablet, first of all, I have to have binders. If I mix grapeseed extracts, citrus bioflavonoids, and vitamin C together, there's no way I can make that into a tablet unless I add binders. That takes an average of 6 to 8 additional ingredients that have no benefit for your body. That means essentially I'm putting in glues, the stuff that makes it all stick together. And then once I do that, I've got to press those tablets, which means all those really sensitive ingredients that just got mixed with a bunch of non-nutritive ingredients go into a press. Hundreds of thousands of pounds of pressure. We know that that type of pressure can also damage the molecule in those nutrients, but not only that, is that type of pressure produces heat in the press. And when you put heat on anything, you start to break down the nutrient value of those ingredients. So tablets are less expensive to make. They're more productive on the production line. But in my book, they are far from effective. You have anyone who has any type of digestive disorder, irritable bowel issues, those tablets are going in one end and a big portion of them are going out the other. And that's the great thing about our capsules is we have pharmaceutical grade capsules, which means I know its dissolve rate in stomach acid. They had to prove it because it's a drug grade capsule, which means I know that my product is getting where it needs to get, and that's the whole point. You can't just create a product and expect it to be absorbed. You've got to do everything you can on the manufacturing side to have a delivery method that is effective.
Well, there you have it. Man, that was awesome. Dude, I love that. People need to know that because those were things I didn't know and didn't understand. So I so appreciate that on every single level. Okay, so we've got the optimals. They're absolutely needed, 47 essentials. So now we're
Can I say something on them really quick?
Of course you can.
Do you know that a lot of people end up losing weight just from going on the optimals? Do you know? Okay, let me just do a little quick scenario for you.
Please do.
You go to fast food and you eat a fast food meal, okay? And you're eating a meal that's essentially devoid of nutrients. So what happens is your general, which is your brain, I like to call him or her the general, your general is super, super smart, and it's sending signals down to the soldiers, which are the cells, okay? And if you eat a non-nutritive meal, the general sends signals down to the cells that, whoa, we don't have what we need to survive. We need more food because we need more nutrients. And so it creates this really vicious cycle in people where they eat a really unbalanced, unhealthy meal, and yet they're hungry quickly after. So what we have found is that a really good balance of these types of nutrients can help that signaling where people aren't as hungry because their cells are getting what they need to be satiated. And so people have positive effects on their weight just from the optimals.
I will attest to that. I've seen that. I know that the optimals, for me, when I finally got my act together and decided to do the whole clinical trial, the results were just amazing, and the cravings were curbed and everything else, and I love, that's my favorite thing to talk about, is the optimals with people, because you feel them in your body. I mean, you know that they are going to work, so it's awesome.
Yeah, and there's a really great quote by a scientist that I just adore, and he studies the human body, immune deficiency diseases, and he said, a deficiency in nutrients is 100 times more dangerous than exposure to radiation. And people just don't know it. They don't know how it breaks down the body and creates accelerated aging. And if you have a stressed out day, guess what? Your B vitamins are shot, gone. You know, that's where we step in with these. We keep those blood levels up. So even when you have a stressed out day, you still have your insurance policy.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm going to tell you, there's, we hear about burnout syndrome, people that get burned out. Well, oxidative stress, I actually was reading something that was worthwhile reading, and there's something now being called rust out syndrome. And stress, just absolute stress, and what it does to the inside of your body, it's rusting people from the inside out. And they said that's far more dangerous. And I would have just glazed over that or not even have paid attention to it a year ago. And I was fascinated with this article, and I thought, this is everybody. They have rust out, their insides, everything that you just said. They are overcaloried, they're malnourished, and they're just aging like crazy. And so that's just another benefit for everything you put together. All right, let's.
Yeah. Yeah, I could talk about oxidative stress for a whole nother hour, so we'll never move along. You keep, like setting me up so well, because I was about to jump into how free radicals take a, atom from a healthy molecule, and I'll just stop myself.
You are so funny. Well, let's talk about Vanali, because I learned from being around leaders from other parts of the world, especially the leaders from China, that they call that beauty in a bottle. One of them told me it was facelift in a bottle, and I think when she was saying that to me, I think she was insinuating I needed it, and I was just cracking up laughing because I had no idea how old she was. I thought she was in her 30s. People, she was in her 60s and was a grandmother. And I'm just sitting there on the cruise going, you've got to be kidding me. And they were telling me all these amazing things about Vanali. And I can tell you I love it, but I like it not only for those reasons, but my hair, skin, and nails are stronger. My hairdresser's noticing it. I'm not making claims. I'm just saying I know it has to do with this, and the upper respiratory. So what makes Vanali so fantastic, and how can one bottle that people market in all these different ways, how can it do all these things?
Well, we don't sell it as beauty in a bottle. However, grapeseed extract has this really wonderful side effect. First of all, antioxidants is a group of nutritional elements that are found in our diet and fruits, and they produce a large amount. Fruits and vegetables produce a large amount of antioxidants, and grapeseed extract is one that is really, really high. And grapeseed in particular, because of its what's called OPC contents, make it one of the most powerful antioxidants available. So it's very good it's very rich in what's called polyphenols. And it helps protect cells from free radical damage, and also promotes healthy blood circulation. So it's really great for reducing inflammation in the body. And what's interesting is grapeseed extract, it's 20 times more potent than even vitamin C, and can be 50 times more effective than vitamin E. And people know those is very strong antioxidants. Well, because of what it does, the polyphenols binds to collagen in the skin. Collagen is what keeps your skin firm. So it has this really wonderful side effect in that it can firm up the skin. So it's a little bit of beauty in the bottle. We don't sell it that way. We sell it for, your brain, your eye health, your antiviral, your anti-inflammatory, because grapeseed extract combined with vitamin C, which is what Vanali is a really powerful antibacterial, antiviral, anti-inflammatory. So it works really well if anybody has any type of upper respiratory issues, and it's very powerful for that. If you go to a place and you get exposed to, seasonal allergies, or you have a cold, or, this is a really good way to support your body in those situations. And because it is really good at bringing down inflammation, it's good for anyone who's had surgery or just needs a little help in the body that way. And because it's one of the few antioxidants that go through what's called the blood-brain barrier. Think of this really tight mesh that is in your neck, and it stops any type of particles within your blood going up into your neurological system. So it's like the protective net, I guess you could say. Grapeseed extract is one of the few antioxidants that actually go through that net and go up into the neurological system, which is why it is so good for the brain and the eyes. And many people see a lot of benefits in their eyes just from the product as well. So it's powerful. It's powerful because it's one of the most powerful antioxidants on the planet. And it's powerful because it's rich in polyphenols. And that compound is what helps protect our cells and promotes all those other wonderful benefits.
Okay, well, here's the question. Well, if grapeseed's so great, then I could just get some grapes and it wouldn't cost me as much as this. I mean, I'm really throwing some stuff out there to you. So,
well, no, go ahead. I mean, absolutely. I think you'd have to eat I don't know, what was it, 15 pounds of grapes? And they had to be seeded grapes to get the amount of extract that you get in the product. I mean, you have to understand, these grapes, they're a very specific type of Merlot grapes, actually, Chardonnay grapes, that are grown on a very specific hill. by a family that's been doing it for generations, that are grown for their polyphenol content. And then the seeds are crushed and the extract is removed. And it is done at a pharmaceutical plant, and which makes it a very, very high potency. That takes a boatload of grapes. That's why grapeseed extract is really expensive, because it's not like you can, I mean, it's like a bucket of grapes. Here you go. To get the extract and the potency that we're using. So sure, just enjoy your $500 worth of grapes every month, and you can get it too.
Awesome. I love it. All right, here we go, Rejuvenex. All right, now as far as Rejuvenex goes, I want you to attack this from getting people away from these horrendous soft drinks. That's like the only bad habit I never had. Sugar addicts like me, I can't say enough about the Rejuvenex. People like my husband who used to love energy drinks, caffeine heads. Why is this such a catch-all for everything, and with such a huge catalyst in weight loss? And the Banned Substance Control Group thinks is just awesome. And, you know, a lot of people, husbands behind their wives' back, call these happy life pills. So, you know, what makes this bottle so insanely amazing?
Well, yeah, you just set it up so nicely. You know, here's the thing. When we said we're going to do energy in a bottle, I said, oh, man, I just don't even know that we can do this. You know, how are we going to create something that really has a tremendous health benefit and is safe? And, I mean, I grew up Italian, so I think I had my first espresso at 4, you know, and so I was a huge coffee drinker. And let's first attack this at the problem. What's happening is people's adrenals are stressed out from too much coffee. Then you've got a whole nother group of people who are drinking these energy drinks like they're water. Even though we know these energy drinks with the combination of the sugar, the artificial flavors, the artificial colors, and the high levels of caffeine is like danger in a bottle. But they're still pushed and pimped on our youth and even older people who are tired throughout the day. So knowing that those are the two groups that we actually want to go after, how do we create something that's going to make both sides happy? People that are used to having that cup of coffee for that lift, and people who are sucking down those energy drinks, creating all types of deficiencies in the body. I mean, let's just take an energy drink on the market today. I mean, they've got artificial colors, artificial flavors, which are all petroleum derivatives. They've got loads and loads of sugar, which creates all types of deficiency on its own. I mean, really, if you want to trace back all disease, just look at sugar consumption, because sugar is death to all it touches, and high levels of caffeine. You put that together in one drink, and then some people mix it with alcohol. Oh my goodness gracious, that's like a toxic chemical dump on the body. So when we looked at Rejuvenex, we said, okay, what can we do? We need to give people a lift. When you roast a coffee bean, it's just like burning a piece of steak. What happens when you burn a steak? When you darkened, blackened any type of meat, vegetable, anything, you have created carcinogenic compounds. Just the nature of burning anything. The same thing happens when you roast a coffee bean. You create a compound called caffeine. That compound can stress out your adrenals. So we knew that if we were going to this is the only product that would fall into a stimulant category in the RX line. If we were going to do a product like this, we needed, there had to be some level of a stimulant to be able to make these two groups happy. So we found a green coffee bean extract. That comes from the green coffee bean where it's not roasted, so you don't have those compounds that actually stress out the adrenals. And green coffee bean extract by nature also has many antioxidants. Green coffee bean by nature is also a positive influence on the metabolism. This is why Rejuvenex played such a critical role in our clinical study for fat loss. It really helped people feel good. And when people were used to be on the couch every day, not really exercising, those people felt like they had enough energy to get up. So the green coffee bean extract really gives people what they're used to if they're drinking that coffee or drinking that energy drink. But we didn't stop there. We knew that we also wanted to help the neurological system with focus and attention. So we ended up using L-theanine. And L-theanine is an amino acid with dozens and dozens of studies that show it helps both sides of the brain communicate better, which means it gives you a sense of concentration and focus. You put that together with the green coffee bean extract, we could have had a product right there. We would have been done. And that would have been a great product on its own. And people would have taken it, they would have the results, they would have loved it. But we like to multitask on our products, which means the products don't just have one benefit, they'll just have two benefits, but they have 5, 10 different benefits all put together in one product that makes it a better value. We added the herbs hawthorn and chamomile because some people, if they take a caffeine, and green coffee bean extract is a form of caffeine, they get a little jittery. So we didn't want to have any of those feelings. We wanted to have the focus, the concentration, the energy boost, but we wanted it in a calm state, almost like, hey, you just came out of meditation and you're good to go. You're ready to take on your day. So the combination of the hawthorn and the chamomile was to well-round the whole experience. So you've got your up, you've got your focus, and you've got these really nice herbs that create a relaxation state, and it becomes this really beautiful energy blend. But yet again, we didn't stop there. What we decided is we wanted to make it antioxidant rich. So we wanted to take some of the more well-known superfruit extracts that they're very well known in our industry, and we wanted to add these in. And I want you to understand something. We didn't just sprinkle these in. There's more acai in this bottle of Rejuvenex than a wine-sized bottle of a really well-known acai juice sold on the market today. I mean, there's like double. And so we knew that we added energy, focus with antioxidants that people would see immediate results within 15 minutes. And that's what we did. And when you look at our superfruits, they're all slow dried temperature under this. It's a spray dry technology, which dries all these superfruits at a very low temperature. They're literally ground up, put into the product. They're beautiful. And then they're added with the energy compound. And it's great for athletes. It's great for people who need that little bit of a lift. It's great for me when I'm in the Netherlands going on day 3 on 12 hours of sleep, and I got to present all day. I had 4 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon, and I was totally sleep deprived, 12 hours in 3 days. And the leader over there in the Netherlands, John Liccardi, goes, "You were the best you've ever been." I'm like, "Yes, thank Rejuvenex." And that's what got me through that one.
Guys, that's awesome. That is. I mean, I just, Rejuvenex is amazing. And from a sales standpoint, that's something you need to have that you can just give someone a little sample of, and they feel it right away. You will get a phone call saying, "What in the world was that? I want more." Okay, so now
but also
yeah.
how it competes against the cost of energy drinks. So if you take one serving of Rejuvenex, right, and you compare it to some of the well-known energy drinks on the market, so one serving is one bottle, right? So if you take that, I don't have the exact numbers in front. Oh, yes, I do. Yes. So let's take the 3 big ones, okay? One can of Monster runs around $2.99. Red Bull runs about the same. Rockstar, I think, runs around $3. Okay, those are servings, about $3 per serving. They run anywhere from $2.50 to $3 a serving for these energy drinks. Rejuvenex for 4 capsules runs $1.74 a serving. So
Wow.
it has a health benefit. So when you just want to look at a retail comparison, you know, you got to get people used to the fact that 4 of those capsules is just as good, if not better, than one of those energy drinks. Plus, there's all these other health benefits to it. Nobody can argue with that, ever.
That is awesome. That is fantastic. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's talk about Omega Q. Our Omega Q blend is incredible. I couldn't believe it when I learned everything this was doing to benefit me nutritionally, but also the reason why it was aiding in my fat loss. And then I could not believe how many people said, "Well, what's so great about your omegas? I can go to the big warehouse store and get a big jug of them for, you know, $6." And then I found out about the manufacturing. I found out about the source of where our omegas come from, infusing them with the CoQ10. So on here, just unleash, just go ahead, just put it all out there, because people really need to understand how incredibly beneficial this is for them.
Yeah, all right. I hear it too. People say I can just go to Costco and get fish oil, and I really have no attachment to that. I'm like, go for it, enjoy yourself, but I wouldn't give that to my dog, and I wouldn't give it to my dog because most of them are rancid, and I don't like the way they're manufactured. And when I first came on board, I said, listen, guys, well, we're just not going to be able to do omegas. We're not going to be able to do fish oil. We're going to, because of the industry. This is what happens. Basically, they take all types of fish, and they put it in a press. They create an oil. Well, the oil is high levels of heavy metals and other things because our oceans are polluted. And then they won't pass any government regulations. I mean, who's going to allow the government? No one's going to allow us to give you oil with high levels of heavy metals. So there's a process. The most widely used process in the industry is a chemical called hexene, which is a solvent, gets added into the oil. The oil gets boiled. Hexene turns into a gas at a certain heat, but it also binds to heavy metals. So they boil up that fish oil, and hexene rises while it's binds to the fish oils, up through a vacuum, out it goes, and then you've got, what do you have left? You have fish oil that's heavy metal free. However, some of that solvent is allowed to stay in the oil. Not all of it gets taken out, and you've just boiled the oil to death. So I knew we didn't want to do that until we found a small company in Canada who takes all the fish waste, turns it into biofuels, won all types of rewards in Canada for what they've done on sustainability. And they get their fish from the Peruvian coast, small fish, anchovies and sardines only, which are already low levels of heavy metals. And they bring them in, and they use an enzyme treatment. They're the only ones in the world who do it. It's patented. Doesn't get boiled to death. It creates a really nice, clean omega that not only meets all of Canadian standards, European standards, and the United States standards for purity, it beats them all. And so it's just a cleaner, better oil. And, you know, a tomato isn't always a tomato. I mean, if you go pick up a tomato in the grocery store in December, and I've grown one in my my greenhouse with organic soil, one's mealy white, one's red, beautiful, rich, full of nutrients. The same goes true with raw materials and supplementations. From everything from grapeseed to fish oil, it really, really starts with the source. What are we choosing to use? How is it being extracted? How is it being manufactured? And that's the difference between a good product and a great product, or a bad product and a great product. And here's the thing. What is fish oil for? I mean, fish oil provides a huge wide variety of health benefits, right? And they're very useful for the general population, and they can help anyone from athletes to people who are just kind of sitting around. And you have to understand that there's two active components of fish oil. It's called EPA and DHA. And your body uses EPA and DHA, and it creates it has like an antioxidant and anti-inflammatory nature, and it's very good for the brain, very good for the heart, very good for improving exercise recovery for athletes. And when someone is losing weight, it is also good because it's a healthy source of fats. And what happens is, especially as women, if we don't eat enough good fats in our body likes to store fat for protection later on. So it played a critical role within our clinical trial as well. But you have, you know, so omegas are most well known for their effects on inflammation and heart. But you have to remember, they also have a powerful effect of other areas in your body. And protein synthesis is one of them, which is why it's good for people trying to lose weight, and it's good for people who work out. And we didn't just stop there. Yet again, this is a multitasking product. We added CoQ10. And our CoQ10 we get from the best CoQ10 manufacturer in the world, Konica. It's a Japanese company who's made the most stable, bioidentical CoQ10 anywhere. They're incredible at what they do. CoQ10 is found in every cell of our bodies, every single one. It's the energy spark of the cell. It is good for the heart. It is good for the brain. So you put together two powerful ingredients to give really, really positive benefits into the body. And just so you know, it's totally good for your dog too.
And there you have it. I mean, their laundry list of the benefits of what that does blew my mind when I really understood what it does, how important it is, the source of where it comes from, how we manufacture it, and everything else. I love the omegas.
And
okay,
we could spend an hour just on this. I mean, we're breezing. These are talking points. We're really breezing through this because
you're right.
I can take and I could literally spend an hour on every product, because if we get down to the actual function and how it reacts in the body and what it does with protein synthesis and what it does and here and there, there's so much. I mean, it might be a little boring. So these are just the talking points, but let me assure you that the science is there and the benefits are incredible.
You're exactly right. They are incredible. I mean, it's people don't even, they can't even comprehend. All right, let's talk about BioProQ. I never even knew ubiquinol was a word prior to this. No, I didn't.
Yeah. Now, what we did with BioProQ is really one of our very first specialty products, which means it's a standalone. It's not really a multitasking product. We did this because CoQ10, that's an omega Q2, you know, everybody should have exposure to CoQ10. But BioProQ was created because Dr. Strand himself took patients who were on the heart transplant list, which means their heart was so damaged that they needed a new heart. And Dr. Strand gave these patients large doses of ubiquinol. And through that experience, he had a numerous amount of heart transplant victims or people who needed new hearts, where their heart had so much healing that they actually didn't qualify for a new heart anymore. And ubiquinol, to understand ubiquinol and its benefits, when you start hitting into your 30s, your ubiquinol starts, which is a fancy word for CoQ10, it starts to deplete out of your cell. And there's a direct correlation between that depletion and aging. And we know that because it is the energy spark of the cell, and if we can keep the cell healthy and give the cell energy to do things in the body, that it is an anti-aging miracle. But we also know it's incredible for the heart. And just take a look at the #1 killer on the United States today. It is heart disease. And I mean, how many people on this phone call, on this webinar, know somebody who's on cholesterol medications? If you know somebody on a cholesterol medication, that cholesterol drug strips the body of ubiquinol, strips the cell of its energy spark, strips the cell of the nutrient that keeps anti-aging in check. It strips the cell. And so, do you know how large that market is? Anyone on cholesterol medication should be on this product. And it is, of course, one of my favorites. It protects the cell from oxidative stress. It protects the cell from free radicals, and it supports the immune system. You put that together with the fact that there's a lot of cholesterol medication users out there, and this product is having really great results. And we can get blood levels up very fast with this standalone. And you want an anti-aging miracle, put Phenol and BioProQ together. If vanity is your issue, that's a winner. That's a winner. If heart disease in your family is an issue, you put this and Omega Q together, that's a winner. If you have somebody you love who's on cholesterol medication, you need to help them through this so that they don't experience accelerated aging, BioProQ is a winner for that.
I love that. I do. What about, the question I get the most about BioProQ is there's a lot of buzz now about a lot of cognitive function on a lot of different levels as we get older as well. Is BioProQ also something that you would recommend for that? Because I just know that from everything that I've learned about BioProQ, I take it every day. Everyone in my family, my parents, my in-laws, whatnot. I love this product. This is one of my favorite that I've recently really become passionate about. Is there anything along those lines that the ingredients in here would be good for?
With basic level, it protects the cell. It gives the cell energy to do its job. Where are the largest concentrations of cells in your body? Your heart, your liver, your kidney, your neurological system. It's concentration of cells. That's what makes up your body, trillions of cells. And this ingredient helps those cells.
I love it. All right, now we're going to talk about Restorix. This is my favorite thing in the world to talk about. Once again, just learning about what this is doing. I can tell everyone, I say it publicly, this will never not be in my life. And 2 Wellness Council members, I know for a fact, Dr. Mike and Dr. Ginger, this product and this product alone is what got them to say, tell me more about everything there is to know about this company. And it was because of Restorix. So go right ahead, guys. I don't care what you think of, you have got to get this in your system, and you need to tell everyone about it.
Yeah, if anybody ever tells me I don't want to take it because it tastes a little funny, I say, suck it up and don't be a baby, you know? Because let me tell you what tastes worse, being sick. This is my baby. This is my baby from start to finish. And I love this product too. It is my product. It's my like I carry it around close to my heart, you know. Let's just start with the main ingredient, micronized zeolite. We have an exclusivity on the zeolite. It comes out of Austria. Our zeolite is one of the most thoroughly tested zeolites in the world. It holds 3 patents, and its patents are based on its micronization, which means it creates a bigger surface structure, which means it does its job really, really well. There's companies out there who sell a product for $50 a month. $50 a month of zeolite, okay? And they sell that product, and you would have to take 2 years worth of their product to get 1 bottle of how much active I have in zeolite. Did I just make sense with that? If you wanted to if you wanted to compare apples to apples with function, just function of how much zeolite is in the product, you'd have to buy 2 years worth of that $50 product compared to 1 bottle of ours. Like, we did not mess around. These are clinical doses of zeolite in this product. And zeolite's remarkable. Zeolite is God's gift to us from nature. It is a negative ion. When you take a negative, it looks like a honeycomb under a microscope. When you take a negative ion and you put it with anything that's a positive ion, it's like 2 magnets playing around. What are positive ions? Your heavy metals, your toxins, your, somebody smokes, your carcinogenic ingredients. They're all positive ions. So zeolite acts like a magnet, like a million little sponges going through your body and grabbing the things you don't want. And I promise you, they're in your body. They're in your body every day. Do you drive down the road? Exhaust. They're in your body. Do you walk into a store, they just use Clorox to clean the floor? They're in your body. You get even close to a smoker? They're in your body. And we get exposed to these things every day from air pollution. So to make a full, well-rounded product line, we needed to have a detox. We needed to have something that played that role, so your nutrients are not only healing the cell, bringing the blood levels up, but we're also cleaning the body and keeping the body safe from all the exposure it gets, and exposure is high. Trust me, just go up to the EPA, just look at your area and your air pollution and what you're exposed to. You'll be surprised.
And it's
zeolite. Okay, go ahead.
No, keep going, because I think you're going to touch on it.
No, go.
Well, as far as this, okay, detoxifying your body, I know that for me, when I doubled up on the Restorix and really got my body clean, but the fat loss was amazing in conjunction with the Slinrex and the Accelerate.
Yeah, well, let's explain why, okay?
Okay.
So your fat is like a suitcase. It really loves to store stuff. It likes to hold on to it really, really well. So when you start to lose fat, you're putting all those toxins that are stored in your fat back into your blood. So what happens then? Your body's brilliant. It wants to store all that stuff back into fat. So it's really, it makes it hard for you to keep the weight off, because the body naturally wants to store more fat to deal with the high levels of toxins that are in the blood. So what happens is it can be this kind of revolving circle, and it's something that's missed with most people who are trying to lose weight. So where Restorix comes in is that when you're starting to lose the fat and you've released these things into your bloodstream, sometimes you feel lethargic, flu-like, rashy. Restorix plays the role of being the house cleaner so that your body doesn't want to restore all those toxins into fat, which we don't want it to do.
There you go. And that explains why okay, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. We have two talking women. I mean, two women who like to talk all the time. We got to have a good balance. Go ahead.
No, but is that why every time I've done a diet, and because diets don't work, that I've rebounded so quickly because of my body was just trapping all the junk I just released into my body? I'd shed some fat, but I was just like a toxin time bomb.
Yes, and because you probably put yourself into metabolic syndrome on those bad diets. Most diets out there, you have to understand, just target appetite control. And people get fat for a lot of reasons. They get overweight because of their digestive system, their hormones, they're stressed, they're toxic. There's lots of reasons why people gain weight, and almost all programs out there just deal with appetite control. But what happens when you get off appetite control? Your appetite comes back, and then you gain it all back, you know, and so it's this really vicious cycle. I'm like you. I've been on all of them, you know, and it's not good for the brain. It's not good for the soul. It's really hard on the body. But you have to understand that Restorix didn't just stop here. And another great thing about zeolite is zeolite reduces lactic acid as well. Lactic acid is what's produced when you work out. It's what makes you sore. So it's really great for athletes, really, really great for athletes. Our zeolite was tested on European Olympic athletes with incredible results. So it is by far probably the best product we have right now for athletes. I mean, the Optimals are good for athletes, Rejuvenate's good for athletes, but just on a recovery basis, Restorix is a beautiful little gem for anybody who works out or is competitive in the athletic world. And know that we didn't just put zeolite in it. We also added chlorella, which chlorella is a beautiful algae that is really remarkable. It helps with purifying the blood. It helps with digestion. And actually, because it helps with digestion, which is why it also plays really nicely into the weight loss program, is it can clear up bad breath. And you know, come on, that's the mint industry is pretty big itself. And so the combination of the micronized zeolite and the chlorella, which are the two main ingredients in the product at a very high level, produce such a beautiful healing effect on the body. And we get so much feedback on this product, from external use to internal use, and the positive benefits it's seen on people. And if you have a hard time tasting it, just do a little bit of lemon juice and water, and you're good to go.
Well, external use. All right, listen. What are you talking about? Okay, I know about making the little slurry or whatever, but external use, like for what? That's fascinating. How?
Well, you have to understand that if you have skin or ulcers, external ulcers on your body that is not healing, it's producing a chemical that's very much like ammonia. But yet again, because zeolite is a negative ion, it can deal with that chemical that's being released for the skin, so it can encourage healing of the skin. We've also seen some good results with people who make it into a paste and put it on their acne, and they're having positive results on that as well. So I've seen some miraculous things. Some of the things I can't say because of the medical claims, but it has some nice external applications as well.
Fantastic. See, here you go, guys. You heard it here. All right, next.
And I always say way too much. Can I just tell you?
All right,
I can't help myself.
You're so funny. No, this is incredible. People are loving this. Okay, Magna-Cal D. Okay,
all right, and we're going to breeze through this because we need to also make sure that I have a little bit of time for questions.
Totally. Keep going.
All right. Magna-Cal D. This took forever, and you would think making a calcium would not take forever, but it really is not a calcium. It just isn't. This is two standalone products. This is a calcium, magnesium, and a standalone vitamin D product. There's a high level of vitamin D. If you were to go to the store and buy a product, you get that level of vitamin D in a $17 retail product. There is large correlations right now on vitamin D. There's a blog on our website, and vitamin D deficiency, what that does to the body, how dangerous it is for the body. We know this to be true. And we also know that vitamin D plays a much higher role than ever thought before in bone health. And when you look at the combinations of ingredients in this, the type of calcium we use, the type of magnesium we use, incredibly high-grade absorbable minerals. The key to minerals is absorbability. You could take a truckload of calcium carbonate, but if it's not going to absorb in the body, well, guess what? You just wasted your money and you could cause harm on your system. So when we looked at the product, we looked, okay, what's the best ingredients out there to create the best absorption? How are we going to do that? And when you look at other magnesiums out there on the market today, most magnesiums in the inexpensive forms, they're constipation cures. They give you diarrhea. You go into the doctor and you have diarrhea, they give you magnesium oxide. I mean, if you have constipation and they want to help you, they'll give you magnesium oxide. I mean, like, why would I want to do what everybody else is doing and create a product, because we need magnesium at the proper ratio and give everybody diarrhea? That's like horrendous. So the reason why other companies don't use these types is because they're so expensive. But they're expensive for a reason, because they absorb into the body. And that's the key with minerals. Get them where we need them to go. Otherwise, they're no good and they can cause harm. Even with our vitamin K, we use a fermented natto. It comes from Japan. It's so crazy expensive. You should have seen Riley's face when we created this product. He's like, what? How much does vitamin K cost? But we know it's like the vitamin K acts like the doorman, opening the doors for everything else to get absorbed into the body, and it's so necessary. And so when we looked at this product, like, how do we help people get their vitamin D levels up? How do we help get those minerals into the bones where they need to go? Plus adding a mineral complex that has 69 different trace minerals in it, because they all work together in this beautiful synchronicity. Plus, we knew that our 2 mushrooms we added have been used in Chinese medicine for years in bone health, and acerola cherry with vitamin C helps the absorption as well. So when we looked at the product, we said, how can we get everything where it needs to go with the best ratio possible, with the best ingredients possible to get the best results? And we created Mad-Cow-Ghee. And it's quickly become the #1 seller in Asia.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I love the Magna-Cal-D, and the more I learned about it, how y'all put it together, I couldn't believe it. I didn't know what K2 was, but I also didn't know the problem with people being so D3 deficient because they weren't getting sunlight. They weren't getting sunshine. And when we were outside, we had SPF 500 on, and we weren't getting those nutrients. I mean, I love this. I love talking about it, and it's amazing, the sales in Asia. That's incredible. Okay, now let's talk about MOA. MOA, mother of all, the absolute magic elixir in my life. I still don't know everything there is to know about it, but what I do know is when I take it, I feel it. I feel it every time, just like it was the first time. I have never been so excited about talking about anything like I am about MOA. So how in the world did this come about? Why is it not a juice? And how did you come up with, let's go around the world and find out what are the best elements of different cultures that make centurions tick, and also that could be 100% absorbable to people over here. I mean, how did all this come about?
MOA was a bit of a nightmare because I didn't want to do it. I really didn't. I'm not a fan of the juice industry. So I knew we were going to do something, and it could not be called a juice. Okay, there's no way. We weren't going to do a juice. You can walk into 7-Eleven and you can get a juice. So if anybody calls it a juice, you just got to slightly attack them because it's not a juice. MOA was put together And really, the vision of it came out of the Netherlands. It came out of our group there, and the Netherlands is quickly in the top 4 of all of our markets, and incredible people. And when we looked at their market was very used to a liquid supplementation, a whole food liquid supplementation. So we said, okay, what could we do to make a really unique product that wasn't one singular magic fruit that somebody stepped on in the Amazon that cures everything, but that gave people exposure to antioxidants from all over the planet. So when we stepped back, we said, okay, what does the Middle East have to offer? What is a medicinal food from the Middle East? What is a medicinal food from China? What is a medicinal food from Japan? What are the medicinal foods from South America? And what are the medicinal foods from Canada and New Zealand and Australia? And there's so many beautiful medicinal foods on the planet. I mean, just the black seed alone that comes out of the Middle East, it's got over like thousands of different components just within that black seed, and scientists have only studied hundreds of them. So we knew we were ready at this point to put together a whole food product, which means it was actual black seed that was ground up, put into the product, actual mushrooms ground up, put into the product. And when you look at MOA and you look at like its features and its benefits, it was designed to help maintain intestinal health, to support the immune system, to help neutralize free radicals. It was designed to help with cardiovascular support. It was designed to have ingredients to help with bioavailability enhancement, which means how do you get these important antioxidants where they need to go? And, you know, you can go out there, I have to tell you, you can go out and you could look at some of the leading liquid supplement juice companies on the market today, and they average per serving 1 gram of actual juice, actual product, okay? That's the average. We average 8 grams. That's a huge difference. When you compare us to other products are mostly water with added fruit, where we're the opposite. And I have direct graphs comparing to other products on the market today. I just am saving them and not using their exact names. And we've got patented ingredients. We have ingredients to help support the cholesterol levels. You know, it is, when you look at what are the ingredients to help neutralize free radicals, that's our grapeseed, our strawberry, our green tea, our blueberries, our elderberry, our white tea, our mangosteen. You know, we've got these mushrooms. I mean, the most expensive ingredient in the entire company is in this product. And it's a patented mushroom out of Japan that helps with cellular enhancement. I mean, it's an incredible mushroom, and the clinicals on it are over the top. We have prune juice that helps with the intestinal health. We have pomegranate and bergamot that helps with cardiovascular support. You know, our patented ingredients like the bioprene and the maitake gold, which is the mushroom, and the bioprene is designed for enhanced bioavailability. We didn't just put these together. We thought, how are we going to help it absorb in the body too? And when we want to help support healthy cholesterol, well, we've got the black seed and the pomegranate and the bergamot. And when you look at just the mushroom combination, the reishi, shiitake, the cordyceps, you know, the maitake, and what that does for the immune system. You know, MOA is exposure. It is exposure to beautiful whole foods from around the planet. And when you look at the oldest living people on the planet today, they eat a huge variety of nutrients when the average American eats like 15. A Cheeto and a Dorito are not 2 different food groups, and people think they are. A hamburger at McDonald's and a chicken burger at Burger King are not 2 different food groups. They're the same crap, and we don't get exposure to many nutrients, and that's why so many of us are deficient. So we wanted to create a really easy-to-take product from the best that the world has to offer in its whole food state and put it together in 1 bottle. That's MOA.
Oh, my goodness. That is just absolutely incredible. It is, and people just, they just cannot imagine the benefits. And then hearing where it comes from. Well, as we transition to SlenderX, can you explain to them how important it is? And I learned this almost by accident. And you were speaking with a physician and talking about the different benefits of MOA, and he asked about the ingredients, and that is where I found out that nothing at RX is ever irradiated from an ingredient standpoint, and I didn't even realize that other companies, everyone did that.
Well, they sure do.
Yeah, what, can you explain to people
all
what
right,
that
all right,
means?
this is how it goes. This is how it goes. A mushroom comes in. A mushroom comes into the facility. And we test it. We do microbe testing. And the microbe testing tells us it's mold content or anything like that. Make sure it's clean before it ever goes into a product. Well, if it comes in and the microbes are off, what companies like to do is send them over to these big, essentially, microwave facilities who zap it to kill anything that might be in the product. Well, I don't own a microwave. There's no microwave in my home. There's no way I'm going to microwave our ingredients because the science is sketchy. Not only does it kill everything that's bad in the product, is what does it do to all the good? And so companies do it because they're lazy, because they got to send back the ingredients, they got to get new, it could set back production. We don't do that. We'll never do it over my dead body. It just won't ever happen.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Now, real quickly, I think we're actually doing great on time. I cannot believe how much content has been delivered so quickly. So now let's talk about our flagship, the SlenderX and the Accelerate, and just kind of walk people through, some talking points like you've been doing, that they really can be armed with some great stuff of, well, is this like those other drops that we saw on the shelf, or are these like those hormone drops, or what are they called? And they can't remember the 3 initials or whatever it is. And, oh, my friend did something like that, but it was only 500 calories, and they went bananas. And no, this is nothing like that crap. And I'm going to use that term because that made me insane how amazing what we have is. It's revolutionary. And no, it is not like anything else out there. It isn't. Nothing touches this. So you go right ahead and just tell us just quickly, because I know that you're pressed for time, we're pressed for time, we want to keep this short and sweet, but what can you give us talking points on SlenderX, Accelerate, and then we'll go into Pure Nourish and we'll be done. You've covered all the questions of the laundry list I had except one, and we'll close with that, and you can do it quickly.
Mm-hmm. All right, just a really quick thing with SlenderX, and I touched about an Accelerate. I touched on it before. When you look at most products, most systems on the market today, you're looking at a system that deals with bad food packaged for you that you shouldn't be eating in the first place, and appetite control ingredients. Or you're doing severe calorie restriction, people lose weight, great, they script their metabolic system. So what we did when we looked at this product is we knew we wanted a safe product that had no counterindications, which means anyone could take them. Homeopathics fall into that realm. And when we knew we wanted to create a homeopathic product that touched on all the different ways in which people gained weight. And that meant, they gained weight because they were stressed, because of their digestion, because of their hormones, because, we wanted to touch on all of that. So the ingredients within SlenderX were designed to help the body in so many ways. That's why it is effective everywhere around the world. It's effective in Japan, it's effective in China, it's effective in Mexico, it's effective in the United States, and with all ingredients. But we knew we couldn't just stop there because we were creating a well-rounded product. The Accelerate is designed with B12 to help support metabolism. And it is also designed with herbs that help with stress. Anyone who's ever gained weight or went on a weight loss product is stressed. They just are. And that stress creates hormones that mess with the body. And that it's a very vicious cycle. I mean, if you start telling people that they need to be on a diet or lose weight, it brings up a lot of emotional issues for folks. So we knew that. So that's why we added Accelerate into the mix. And Accelerate was designed for the metabolism support, but it was also designed with herbs to help with stress. We knew if we could do those two combinations, we would see remarkable results, and we would be healing the body. You've got to understand what homeopathics do. It's a very different type of medicine than allopathic medicine, which is like cholesterol medication, something you get from your regular Western doctors.
Homeopathic medicine is designed to go into the body to help the body work right, to heal the body, not to change the way the body works, not to give the body false signals, but to actually heal the body, to help the system do what it's supposed to do, because a body in harmony inside is a healthy body, and a body in harmony inside is a body that is not overweight. That's what made homeopathics so so appealing to us, because we knew they were safe. We knew they were backed by hundreds of years of research, and we knew we were not, the other drops that have been on the market that get attacked by the FDA right now are because these drops are not ingredients that are found in the homeopathic pharmacopoeia. The homeopathic pharmacopoeia is the official compendium of ingredients by our U.S. government on claims on what these ingredients do. It's like the drug Bible of homeopathics. And there's a lot of other products out there that make claims. Every product and every ingredient in our SlenderX is in the homeopathic pharmacopoeia, is produced at a drug facility, an OTC homeopathic drug facility, and they are pharmaceutical grade homeopathics designed to have a healing effect on the body. And they work, they just work.
All right, awesome. And then we're going to wrap it up with our Pure Nourish, because I get questions, and everybody gets questions regarding the Pure Nourish. How does it compare to this? Well, why, I was told to drink soy a couple of years ago because that was good for me. What do you mean this has no soy? Why, it's just so funny how misinformed people are, and people don't understand. There's no other meal replacement on the market that I have ever seen that is free of all of the things that ours is free of. I've never seen that before. So can you just talk about, just quickly, whatever you want to attack on this, but the soy question comes up for me the most.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. First of all, almost all soy on the market today is adulterated, which means it's genetically modified. And there's a lot of controversy on genetically modified ingredients. Of course, nothing in Pure Nourish is GMO. We're GMO free. I'm not going to let you be test rabbits for us. It's just not going to happen. And there's a lot of countries that are getting smart on this. Europe, Australia, Canada, who now understand that genetically modified products are having negative effects in animal studies. You watch, we're going to look back 10 years from now, and we're going to think, wow, we were barbaric. Who even ate those? But people eat them every day. And soy is one of the biggest genetically modified foods on the planet. And soy products is not good for men. I mean, unless you want to have, like, women's breasts. As a man, you shouldn't be really into soy products. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. But soy products affect the estrogen levels in the body. I like soy products in their fermented stage, like tempeh and miso. That is a different animal. But soy in a protein powder is not, in my book, not a health food. So when we looked out there at what people suffer from, we wanted to create like an allergen-free product. We wanted to make sure it was dairy-free because lots of people have issues with lactose intolerance. We wanted to make sure it was gluten-free, so all your celiac individuals would be happy, be able to use this. Lots of people have issues in gluten. And we wanted to make sure it was soy-free, so it was appropriate for anybody who had soy issues, and men and women. And we created this, and it is beautiful, and it's got a pea protein. And the reason why we use pea protein is because it's the easiest to digest on the body. If anybody has any kidney disorders, a doctor who understands the kidney will say the only protein you can have is a pea because it's soft on the body, it absorbs really well, and has a beautiful amino acid profile. And when you look at, and amino acids are essentially the building blocks of muscles. It's what keeps your muscles strong. And when you look at Pure Nourish, we took the protein from a cranberry seed, which is really an interesting protein. We took the protein from almonds, which is a really beautiful protein, especially good for heart and cholesterol levels. And we took the protein from a pea and we combined it into this really beautiful mix. We sweetened it naturally. It's low calorie. We added enzymes and probiotics because yet again, we want this to get where it needs to go. And lots of people have unhealthy stomachs and guts. Their digestive system is totally off whack, so we created a multitasking product. You can have a shake, with this, and you can get protein. You can get probiotics and enzymes to help heal the digestive system, and it works really well within the slenderized weight loss system as well.
Well, guys, everybody, I can't believe we just did that. I cannot believe we just got talking points from our Chief Product Officer for for Nutrify and Slenderize, and can use this as a training. And I really want to thank you. You are the busiest person, and you're also the most requested person in the entire world of what we do here at RX, and we just want to thank you so, so much. We're probably going to do a series of these, and are there any closing remarks you'd like to have? We've got some amazing leaders. We have big living rooms full. We have training centers full, all watching this broadcast. Is there anything you'd like to share with us that maybe coming down the road or food for thought as we wrap this up?
Sure. Food for thought. I travel all over the world. You're right about the requests I get. It's a lot. But that's okay. I love my job. I'm so blessed to do my job, and I get the most beautiful emails and testimonials and life-changing experiences from people everywhere because they're choosing to change their life and their health. And I am so blessed and lucky to know you all, and I thank you for believing in our products and sharing the message because you're helping people live longer, and that's unbelievable. What about coming down the road? Do not miss the convention in Vegas. We're launching 7 new products in Vegas.
All right.
I just gave away a secret. 7 new products in Vegas. And you can buy them there. I'm just saying.
My word.
Yes. 7.
Okay.
Wait till you see our vision finishing out the Slenderize and Nutrify line. It's really beautiful.
I cannot wait, and I just want to thank you so much. And everybody on this call, Deanna not only does everything she does to help us, but she is a wife. She's a mom. There's just so many facets to who you are and what you do, and we just appreciate you sharing your life and your knowledge with us and making these so incredible and keeping that standard of quality up. And everybody, my phone is exploding. This was the most awesome. And, here's funny. Are any of the 7 new products edible?
Well, yes, actually. 3 of them are. Just saying.
Oh, okay. Here we go. I know this is going to be a Pandora's box, but we're going to stop this. Guys, this was recorded. It will be posted. We'll let you know. Deanna, you have an amazing evening, and we all love you so much, and we appreciate you more than you could ever imagine. And thanks so much for doing this for us.
You're welcome. I love you all too, Woodson. You're my buddy, and I'm sure I'll be seeing some of you who are on this call on the Elite Retreat in Mexico in 2 weeks.
Well, we can't wait, and we can't wait to see you at convention. And I'm getting crazy texts. We're going to Vegas. We're going to Vegas. So it's going to be an amazing convention. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You all have a great evening. And that was an hour and 20 minutes, and we made it through every product. I think that's a record.
That is a record. And so it can be done. I knew we could do it. So thanks so much. And everybody, thanks so much for tuning in.